Hey guys, welcome to Sham's Garden. If you haven't watched my previous video, I was talking about on how to make fish fertilizer. So I had quite a few vegan friends who wanted to know how to make fertilizer which doesn't have animal input in it. Well, especially when it comes to liquid fertilizer, most of the things that you find in stores are animal based. So you can make vegan fertilizer at your home. So for that you need this miracle tree. This is moringa. You need to take a few leaves out of it. Well, especially more than taking the leaves, you need to take the buds out of it. These buds contain apical dominance hormone. Well, when it comes to plants, the plants which grow straight has apical dominance in them. Well, the tips of the plants and trees have a specific kind of hormone called gibberellin and auxins. Well, these hormones help the plants to grow more. So when you're taking moringa leaves, try to take the tips more because this has the growth hormone in it. So I'll collect a few more leaves. Well, I got some. So the first method is through fermentation. So for fermentation you will need some molasses, some moringa leaves and an airtight container. Well, for fermentation it will be always anaerobic bacteria, so an airtight container would be preferred. Well, the steps in this is to add moringa leaves and a layer of molasses, moringa and a layer of molasses. So to stack it one above the other. Well, you may ask, well, where the bacteria comes from? The bacteria is already in the leaves, in the molasses, and when I am transferring through my hands into the container, my hands has quite a lot of bacteria in it. If you want, you could add some biological inoculum. If you have, some may prefer to use inoculum, but I don't prefer to use inoculum because the bacteria which is in your surrounding, that'll be more than enough. The reason I filled the entire container is because the bacteria in it is anaerobic. So the amount of moringa leaves and the sugar molasses that you have, try to fill the entire container because you don't want to leave air space for the bacteria to die out. After filling the entire container, add a small bit of water and close it tightly and keep it in a dark place for a day or two. So the second method is to use the moringa leaves directly. Take some moringa leaves and grind it into a paste-like form. Well, it must be not too sticky and not too watery. When you try to feel the moringa leaves between your fingers, it must be slippery. Well, the reason for grinding moringa leaves is for the nutrients to leach into the water easily. Well, if you're going to soak moringa leaves into the water and pour it for your plants, it'll take about 2 or 3 days for the whole nutrients to be absorbed by the water. Well, if you know the principle of osmosis and diffusion, you may know why you may need to soak for quite a long time and how it's easier to use it by grinding leaves and pouring it for your plants. Hey guys, so once you made your paste, mix it with half a cup of water. So the ratio of this would be 1:2. If you use 1 part of moringa paste, you need to use 2 parts of water. So after mixing them well, try to keep them aside for an hour, or you could use them instantly if you like. Well, the reason for keeping them aside for an hour is for the juice to dissolve in the water. So I'll keep this aside for an hour.
1 hour later.
Well, after an hour, strain them in a plain cloth. Well, this may clog the pores, so you may have to strain. So I strained it well. Now I'm going to water my plants. When it comes to similarities of fish fertilizer and moringa fertilizer, well, there's quite a lot of similarities. Both of them can be used for seedlings, for growing plants, and they can even revive dead plants. But the only difference is that both has quite different nutrient qualities. Well, moringa fertilizer can be used in both ways, in fermented and in unfermented process. But fish fertilizer can be used only when it's fermented. So when you're about to use moringa fertilizer, try to use it as quickly as possible. Well, the fermented one can be used within a day or two. The unfermented one should be used within an hour to utilize its maximum nutrients. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any doubts, you could always leave it in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon near it to receive future notifications. And also follow me on my other social media channels. Hope you enjoyed my video and do give a thumbs up. Thank you.